Uncovering the facts about Santa Claus. Who is Saint Nicholas? Santa Claus first appeared in the late 3rd century, roughly around 280 AD. Saint Nicholas was a bishop of Greek descent who resided in the Asia Minor city of Myra, now called Turkey. He was a very wealthy guy, and he gave away all of his fortune to help the poor, the sick, and the suffering. The custom of gift-giving and stockings hanging. Numerous accounts exist of Nicholas defending children and the impoverished. One of the most well-known goes like this: a poor father had 3 daughters, but they couldn't get married because he couldn't give them dowries. One evening, Nicholas sneakily threw a bag of gold into the house through the chimney. The sack slipped into the stocking, which was drying by the fire. A few days later, it happened once more, leaving the father perplexed. He made the decision to wait in the shadows until he saw Nicholas drop the gold bag. Despite his request for him to keep his identity a secret, word soon spread. From that point forward, whoever receiving a surprise gift was assumed to have come from Nicholas. Santa Claus comes after Street Nicholas. Saint Nicholas lost favor in Northern Europe in the 16th century as a result of the Reformation. However, someone needs to give the kids gifts. He adopted the names Father Christmas or Old Man Christmas in the United Kingdom, Père Noël in France, Christkind in Austria and Germany, and Kris Kringle in the early United States. Later, as Dutch immigrants arrived in the United States, the tales of Kris Kringle and Sinterklaas were combined, and thus the name Santa Claus was born. Saint Nicholas in Victorian times. During the Victorian era, Saint Nicholas enjoyed a resurgence in popularity as writers, poets, and artists rediscover his tales. His bishop's robes at the time came in a variety of hues: red, green, blue, and brown fur, but he always preferred red. A Night Before Christmas. The poem, A Visit from Saint Nicholas, popularly known today as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," was written by Clement Clarke Moore in 1822 for his children. In that poem, Santa Claus' primary traits were laid out. He is characterized as having a tiny round tummy, and being chubby and plump, a right cheerful old elf. He enters via the chimney while riding in a sleigh pulled by well-behaved children, and he is carrying a sizable bag full of goodies. The 8 reindeer are also mentioned, even though Rudolph wasn't on board at the time. Santa's reindeer. There are 8 reindeer mentioned in Clement's poem: Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Dunder, and Bliksem. Dunder and Bliksem came from the Old Dutch words for thunder and lightning, and they were changed later to Donner and Blitzen. Actually, Rudolph is a 20th century addition because of the holiday song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In Robert May's account, Rudolph was having trouble because of his blazing nose. However, he went home a hero after Santa Claus asked him to light the team's path through the dark night while visiting his house. Since that time, Rudolph has served as the 9th reindeer and driver of Santa's sleigh. The most recognizable Santa picture. The St. Claus illustration was made by Thomas Nast and appeared in Harper's Weekly in January 1863. Santa is depicted on the cover giving Union soldiers gifts while visiting a camp during the Civil War. Thomas Nast proceeded to paint Santa Claus over the course of the next 20 years, adding to the aspects of his life and biography. In the 1881 edition of Harper's Weekly, Santa was depicted in his most well-known form. Santa Claus is seen in this illustration sporting a smoking pipe, a large red belly, and his traditional red and white outfit. Santa Claus from Coca-Cola. Contrary to popular belief, Coca-Cola did not create Santa Claus in a red costume. Haddon Sundblom, though, was inspired by Nast's design and created the first Coke Santa in 1931. However, Santa Claus was taller and cheerier in this version, holding a Coke bottle rather than a pipe. The Coca-Cola Christmas truck was first featured in Coke's 1955 television commercials for Holidays Are Coming. The iconic Coke Santa is painted on the sides of the red truck, which is now a well-known part of recent Christmas history. The truck is also adorned in lights. The Saint Basil. Santa Claus is known as Agios Vasilis in Greece and originates from Caesarea. On New Year's Eve, he only brings the presents to the well-behaved kids in his reindeer sleigh. In addition, there is a Greek custom on New Year's Eve. Vassilopita is a special New Year's dessert that has a charm concealed inside. The cake is then divided up, with a slice going to Agios Vasilis first, followed by the home and the rest of the family. Whoever receives the coin is thought to enjoy a very fortunate and joyful year. Track Santa. Do you want to find Santa? You can now, though. Discover Santa's village in the North Pole to get in the holiday spirit. Using military sensors and technology, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, offers a family-friendly initiative to follow Santa on December 24th around the globe. Every year on December 1st, it launches with games, films, information, and more.